With over 500,000 trees and shrubs already planted and growing, it's easy to forget you are in the city. We don't just say, we do. It's the Stain City way.
Good afternoon. You are watching Real Talk with me, Anele, on SABC3, where the stage is yours. So my guest today is a firm favorite of your Sunday evening viewing pleasure. Just by me saying Wafika, Wabona, Wachatisa, surely you can guess who she is. She recently bagged the Best Presenter Golden Horn at the SAFTAs. You may have heard her voice on Touch HD during her thing, during the lunch lot, and she's appeared on theatre stage, TV adverts, TV shows, and some international films. She has been through it all, seen it all, but her charm and bubbly personality has won over many hearts. This is a treat for me, without a doubt. Today, I'm handing over the stage to my big sister, my best friend, my confidant, the alter ego to my Beyonce. Today, you're watching Real Talk with us, the Mdoda sisters, Anele and Thembisa.
Yeah. Sure.
You've never seen that, eh?
No.
Why were you avoiding watching it?
I don't know. First of all, because I don't even know what I said.
Yeah?
I just went up there because I was very shocked.
I know, that's what I was saying to you. Keep it together.
And that's all I could hear walking there. I'm like, oh my God. And I was like, oh, I'm about to fall down. And I see you, you're like, keep it together.
Because I'm like, if you cry, we're not going to hear what you want to say. Because I know you, okay? You're a ball of emotions. I'm like,
sure.
For the family, keep it together.
I'm even getting emotional watching that.
Just watching it.
Yes.
But I understand when you say you haven't watched it because you just like, did I thank the right people?
Yeah.
But you felt like you thanked the right people.
Yeah, I felt like at that moment I said what really needed to come out of my heart at that point. And I just said it. I didn't even realize, am I over the 30 seconds? Am I not? Is the music starting? I was just... Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. For the intro that I gave, we like wrote it many times because I had said, this is how I must introduce you.
Yeah.
She used to hide food in the drawer because she didn't want to eat. I remember rice and pumpkin, she'd literally hide it in the drawer in the kitchen.
And it would smell a week later.
What is smelling for days? Mm-hmm. She
Yeah.
used to paint my mom's bathroom with nail polish. And then we'd all get beaten up.
Yes. I used to take the money for the bus and then spend it with my friends and walk home.
I remember that.
I was a troublesome child, my gosh.
And you used to just survive on tomato and salt?
Yes, that was my favorite thing, tomato and salt. And then Mama would find it next to the bed in the morning when she wake up. That bit of tomato that gets left over and the salt or the aromat.
This after you stashing your food away?
Yeah, because I wasn't a fan of food.
You're still not a fan of food though?
You, Sana.
Like, yeah, like we'll have ribs and wings, but like I don't see you as much of an eater. It's not your thing.
No, actually, nah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. It's not.
It's not your thing.
Yeah.
What's your earliest memory of like us growing up as kids? Like I want to compare now.
Yeah. My earliest memory, I think it has to be Mthatha, 16 Atwa Madala, and we used to watch The Bold and the Beautiful, and then we'd take the wheelbarrow and we'd reenact all of the scenes in the garage, and we've had like the broom as the boom and like a little camera there. Okay, last camera action, then we run to our places. I remember that. I remember the peaches, Mom's peaches.
Oh, the peach trees at the back?
The peach trees there.
Okay.
We had to clean those, and then we had to watch the other boys coming in to steal the peaches and throw stuff at them.
And then we'd attack them for trying to steal peaches.
Trying to steal
This is
peaches.
true?
Yes, yes.
So when it was time for us to move from Mthatha, because I was 6, so obviously you were 8, right?
Yeah.
When it was time for us to move, what was your anxiety about moving? Did you have any? Because like I was excited to move to Joburg. Like, you know what's happening in Joburg, it's lights and everything.
At least you knew where we were going. I did not know where we were going.
Why were you not asking questions though?
I do not want to ask questions because it all happened so fast. Okay, get inside here. No, we have to leave early. We have to leave late at night. No, the soldiers. No, this, no, that. Because Mthatha at that time was very volatile.
Yeah.
So we even left at 3 a.m. in the morning. Then get bus.
That's actually so true.
Yeah. So
and we
I
took
was like,
a TV into the translate.
Yes.
Strangest
so
thing.
we had to wait and then hide and then get into the bus and then all the way. So I'm like, I'm not even going to ask because these two, Mom and Dad, look like they're not even trying to answer any questions. So I'm just going to get in.
I asked.
What was
I was like, where are we going? They said Joburg. I said, okay.
Okay.
Let's go to Joburg.
Did you ask why?
No, I didn't ask why. I was 6 years old. Why are you whying anybody?
Hey, I didn't know where I was going, so I was like, okay then.
But in
Let's go.
preschool, you were in a production. You played Turkey Lurkey.
Yes.
Would you say that's where the drama thing started? Because it was in preschool, then it didn't appear again, and then then it just after matric, it just came out of
just came out
nowhere
again.
and like totally embodied itself in you.
I think in preschool I was a little quiet, but I was bossy in that production. I remember very clearly. And even when I took my bow, it took longer than everybody else.
Yeah.
You know, I enjoyed it because I think of the people that I worked with. I mean, it was a preschool production.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
But I still remember your guys' names signing out because you were Turkey
Turkey
Lurkey,
Lurkey.
Thembisa Mdoda, Goofy Lucy, Zandlem
Jekula.
Jekula, yes.
Yes, and I still remember it very vividly. And when I was in high school, sports took over.
True.
And then I became very competitive.
Yeah.
And I would go and audition for maybe a musical. I'd get in, and then they say, you can't really do both. If you want to do first team netball and do musical, choose one. I was like, I need to beat Willow Ridge this year so you guys can sing by your damn selves.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, I never knew you were picking between the two.
Yes, because I really wanted to do it. I went to about 2 rehearsals and it was so much fun. I think we're doing Sound of Music
Yes.
that year, and it was really great. But then they were like, because we'd literally, first in netball, you practice every day.
Yeah, and you played provincial netball.
Yes.
So then that would take up
They would
further of your time.
Yes, yeah.
But now, the language thing.
Yeah. It's happening.
Please don't be so smug, my word.
What's up, man?
How is it that we moved to so many places? Like we were in Petersburg, we were everywhere, and you picked up the languages and none of us did.
I think that's a question you should ask yourself.
But the thing is, you're so good at like Tswana and Sotho and everything else. I can try, like I can hear, but in terms of like you speak it, like you embody it, like that's unfair because we woke up in the same house and went to the same places, and yet you didn't go. Hey, psst, psst.
Come on, come with me.
What is that? Are you just like naturally gifted?
I love languages. I think I just any way that you can express yourself and be heard by everyone, that for me is a great thing. And I like the way they express different things in different ways. I mean, Xhosa will express it in different than Tswana.
Yeah.
Tswana in Pedi, you know, Venda, everything. I think anything that comes with a bit of effort, a bit of performance, I tend to get attracted to, you know.
So basically you're saying you're dramatic.
Hell yeah, I'm dramatic.
Moving around a lot, this is, before we go to an ad break, I just want you to answer, we moved around a lot. Do you ever feel like you were bullied anyway?
Yes. Petersburg, I felt bullied. Because, I mean, you get in, it's standard 6, grade 8, I guess. I mean,
whatever.
You know, and they made me carry their bags and like hold their toothbrushes while they comb their hair because we were in hostel.
Yeah.
And I would never understand it. And there was a time where the standard 9s and the matrics would be like, no, we pick on pretty girls. And for me, that didn't make sense at the time because I'm like,
I'm pretty.
I don't understand. Uksala abused this much you're doing, you know? I did feel that I was bullied, and I felt that it takes a long time for me now to get to know people and to be comfortable in spaces because of that. Yeah.
Interesting. Time for a quick break. When we return, we will, actually not we, because I know her already. You will get to know Thembisa a little bit more. Don't forget that today is the last day that you can enter our weekly competition. The winner will be announced tomorrow. We'll be back. And welcome back to Real Talk. In studio with me today is my personification of Blurk. Hey, English left there. Black Girl Magic. She's one of my mother's children, my own sister, Thembisa Mdoda. Graphic design. So you matriculate,
yes,
and quite well, you know,
yeah,
and then you pick graphic design. I'm not going to lie. I saw that coming out of nowhere. I was just like, because 1 minute you wanted to study radiology.
Yes. Do you know what happened? My dad was, Utata, look at me saying my dad.
My dad
so
too.
Your dad, my dad,
yeah,
said, no, you're very good with computers and all things technological, but you know, you're creative as well. Put it together. Let's do something like informatics. Then he takes me all the way to tax. So I'm walking there, I'm dragging, people are telling us all about informatics, and he's like nodding. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then he's
Yeah.
like, also, but you like radiology because you know all of the bones.
Yeah.
And then I was like, and initially I wanted to study fashion design, and he's like, there's no money there. Don't. Dad, but it's the stage and drama.
Oh,
So
you
he's
used to sketch dresses all the time.
when they went to functions, I would sketch their dresses, and then they'd go have them made, and his shirt and mom's dress and everything. So I'm like, he's gonna be okay with this.
So he said no.
He said no, and then he said, okay, let's put together something, technology, computers with creative side. He's like graphics. I'm like, okay, fine. I went, I studied, I graduated, came back, and I said, here you go. Can I go do drama now?
How long did it take you to convince him, the whole drama thing? Because you worked a little at a graphic design company.
Yes.
And I was just like, oh, she's making money. And then the next thing you came home, you're like, girl, no.
I worked there for about 3-4 months.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to go to the Grahamstown Festival. And they were like, no, you've only been here 3-4 months. I was like, send me my check, okay? You know when to send it. And I walked out of there. I got on a bus to Grahamstown. And then I went to watch the festival. I came back a few days and I was like, sat my utata down and I said, I want to be on stage.
Okay.
I want
So
to be on
did something
stage.
happen in Grahamstown where you
Yes.
kind of, what happened?
The friends that I was with were all at Pretoria Tech and we were all doing graphics at the time.
Okay.
And then we went to watch Nothing But the Truth. And there's a scene where Dr. John Kani walks into the stage and it's just silence and he
Oh,
sits
is that the
down.
obsession with the kind you started?
Ooh, obsession, you say?
Well, like a little something.
You know.
We'll get to it, yeah?
Yeah, now. So he just walked on, he sat down, newspaper, and that's when I think Pamela Nomvete walks in.
Yeah?
Was it Rosamond? I don't remember at the time. And the atmosphere, everybody was just silent. There was no one chirping, there was no one looking at their phones, there was nothing. Everybody was just silent and watching this moment. And even the preset was just falling together somehow. And then I was like, this is what I want to do. This is it.
Oh, that's magic.
This is it. And then I went home, I was like, this is what I want to do.
And then you enrolled into Wits.
I actually decided, I went to Wits and I applied. And they called me in for an audition. I auditioned, they asked me to sing and I sang. And then they said, okay, go to the main theater. And they're like, basically, you've made it.
Oh, wow.
They told me that day. Everybody else, I think a lot of other people had to wait. They told me that day that I made it. So I was like, and I went on my birthday as well. It was the 16th of November, I remember quite well, 2003. That's when I went. And so I went home and I said to my dad, listen, me say my dad again. Listen, I want to do this, you know, just allow me to.
Would you say then that the scene that you did in the road where you were kneeling on the ground and Utwasa and you were channeling the spirits, I have to say it so everyone can understand it.
Yeah.
That was like the culmination of years and years of everything you'd learned, everything you were, everything you'd been through. It literally lived through that scene because
Yes.
I didn't recognize you in that.
Yeah.
Usually I can, because you're my sister, I'm like, oh, okay, that's Thembisa, she's on
Yeah.
TV. But that moment, I didn't recognize you.
I didn't even recognize myself. I actually ran away from that scene for about 3 weeks.
Really?
Angus Gibson and Desiree and Gutloano would be like, when are we doing the scene? And I'm like, no, okay, you know what, guys? Okay, then we have to bring in someone because the spirits and the ancestors are something very, very special.
And very sacred
Yeah,
to
and
us. We grow up around it, yeah.
If you're going to call them, there needs to be a reason. And if you're going to call any ancestors, also that's not right either for the sake of acting. So I said, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this right. And also, my training had to go in there because I can't go too far. I need to be able to say the lines that I have been given and also draw from the moment that I'm given as well, and also draw from the set around me and know which cameras are where and where the director is to point me to turn in what. So it's very technical, but I had to be in the moment in order for it to work.
Wow. Okay. You know, you never say these things during Sunday lunch.
Nah.
I'm just gonna go out and say that. You like to look good. You dress very well. You always have like the nicest bags and all of this stuff. But you're not driven by money. You don't strike me as somebody who likes money.
No.
Do you know what I'm saying? So I can never balance the two. I'm like, but she's always wearing all these amazing things, and yet like, I mean, Dad used to like leave his card with us and signed checks.
Yeah.
You can, whatever you need
do
money,
whatever
you
you
go
need,
do. And it's not like, you know, there was did that teach you like the financial freedom and just being okay with money?
Yeah, I think because of the way we were raised. I mean, in terms of money, like material things.
Yeah.
I mean, alcohol. There's nothing that we've ever abused because they've taught us those fundamentals, and so I don't think money is an important thing. I want to make lots of it because I want my children to have the most amazing life. I want them to have all of those things. But I love to look good, but I don't think you need to spend a lot of money to look good. You know what I mean?
Didn't you say that dress was 20 rand?
This dress was 150 rand. All right, 150 rand. And it looks like it was...
like Versace.
No, you know.
So then, if money is not important, looking good is, what else is important to you? Besides Lonwabo and Lonwabile, I mean, the kids will get to later, and I know that they are your absolute life.
Yeah.
But what else is important to you?
Art. I think art is important. I think art, because it's such a... art is our world. Everything is inside it. It doesn't matter if you think you are not doing something that's artistic. You are. Whether you're doing accounting, there's an art to it.
Oh.
Do you know? So everything has an art to it. And for me, everything I do is some sort of art and some sort of performance. Whether I am on radio, I'm performing somehow. On stage, TV, you know? But it needs to be genuine all the time.
And you've basically ticked all the corners of it, because you've got the graphic side to it, thanks to your father, informatics. You've got the dramatic side to it, because you've done drama adverts. You've got the presenting side to it, because you've done Our Perfect Wedding. You've got now you're on radio, so you're basically like doing this full circle in the circle of arts. Yeah. Mom being a continuity presenter long ago. Our mother was a continuity presenter on what was before SABC1 with Lucas Titole, Nana Malloy,
CCV.
Our mother was there. When we'd sit and Mom would make us tape her every night, and then she'd come back and crit herself. Work ethic, that's where we get it from. When you see Mom on TV, was there anything in you, and I think you were about 10, 11 then, that said, I want to be on that, this is it. This is it.
I loved it. Do you know, she did it with such ease. And the rapport she had with her co-presenters and the laughter, it came so natural to her. And I think that's just the woman that she was. You know, that's just who she was. And I was like, you know what? That, even if it's not presenting, that, if people can see that on me through the TV,
I'm done. Listen, it said there's something about losing your mother that is so finite and inexpressible, a wound that will never heal. After the break, my sister and I, Thembisa, chat about grieving the loss of our mother, what that loss taught us, her journey to healing, and ultimately indirectly affecting my journey to healing as well. We'll be right back. And welcome back to Real Talk with myself, Anele Mdoda. So 8 years ago, on January the 4th, our mom lost her battle to pancreatic cancer, leaving us Mdoda girls to pick up the pieces with the help of our dad, who has always said that as a unit, we can survive anything. We were in Cape Town, and then dad called, is like, I think you guys should come home. So I left on the 3rd, and then you couldn't get a flight, and you came back on the 4th.
On the 4th in the morning.
In the morning. And then, the day happened, but Mom was in hospital.
I went to see her at 10 a.m. that morning.
Yes. And then we were all at home, and then Dad left.
Because I was sleeping downstairs by the couches, by the bar.
In the bar,
And then he woke me up and he says, no, I need to go see your mom. I have a feeling. And then he left.
Okay, so he told you that?
Yes.
No, because he just said he's going to go see her, and it was strange for me because Dad would never go see Mom without us. So I kind of felt that it was strange that he'd gone to see her without us. And then on his way back, Grandmom, Mom's mom, kind of rallied us into Dad's room. And there was like a meeting there. And then I thought, okay, clearly there's some medical decisions to be made.
Because I did not see that bomb coming.
Oh, so you didn't see the bomb coming? No. So when Dad walked in and we were sitting on the carpet, all of us, did you look at his face?
I think when he started speaking, I knew.
He lost color in his face, right?
Because I just knew, but I was waiting for him to confirm it because I was like, maybe no, it can't be, you know? So, and then once he said,
Mama Shil.
Tickets.
Okay. After that, like after I said, Mama has left us, could you hear anything after that? Because
it was ringing.
Okay, it was like silent, right?
I just remember Unathi just falling to the floor.
Sorry, Unati. We're not being insensitive. You're an idiot.
No, but I'm painting the picture here.
Okay.
Falling to the floor, and also I was on my knees, and then I just sat down. There was just a lot happening at that time, and I think in my mind it was just trying to set in, and I remember just feeling pain all over my body, just like, okay, it can't be, you know.
So after that, like emotion and like I just think it was, I couldn't hear anything. I could see a lot of things happening.
Yeah.
And I was just sitting there looking at everyone, and I couldn't hear anything. My ears just went blocked, like we're on a plane, right?
Yeah.
What sentence cut through for you? Because I have the first thing I heard in my head. Do you remember what the first thing you heard after that?
The first thing I heard was grandmama saying, no, but guys, she was sick, it was bound to happen. Then we just went off at her. How could you do that? You shut up. Mom's gone. And you just so insensitive. How dare you? And so obviously now, the hurt and the anger goes to the first person to say something kind of dumb.
I think the second person to say something kind of dumb was me. Remember when we came back from the hospital, and by then the house was full.
Yeah.
And we had to make tea and coffee for people. And then we were running out of cups and coffee.
Yeah.
But my mom had like these sacred cups and coffee that you couldn't drink from. Like she was waiting for the Queen of England to arrive before we used them. So then somebody's like, well, we need to use them. I said, you can't use those. Mom would die if you use those.
You actually did say that.
And then everyone in the kitchen just kept quiet and looked at me, and I was like, I'll let myself out.
And also people they were like, okay, do we look at her? Do we look sad?
Yeah.
Do we laugh? Because, are they going to throw us out? So it was like...
Okay. Do you remember the ride? Because obviously after Dad told us we were then in two cars, Dad drove with Grandmama because he had to separate us from her. And then we were in my car and I was driving, and then we were like...
we got the Viano as well.
Yes. So then we're going to the hospital. Do you remember what happened at the hospital?
I do, because when we got there, they had covered her with a sheet up until here, so that we don't see the blood and all
the way they'd been working on her.
Yes, because they were trying to save her life.
Yeah.
And I couldn't stay in the room. I couldn't stay. I couldn't breathe, and there was something in that room that I just couldn't deal with. So I went to go get some air outside, and then Dad brought me back, and he's like, no, you have to go through this. And that's when we said goodbye to her. We just stood there. I remember we were just standing there, and you can't really say goodbye in that moment. I mean, you have to say everything you ever wanted to say,
What do you feel like you had not said to Mom that you still wanted to say to her?
I hate you.
I love you.
There's a lot. Because I think for the longest time, I would speak to Dad about a lot of things. Because I think I would think that me and Mom, our personalities clash.
Yeah.
But it was just because I wouldn't allow her in, And when she wanted to speak, I wouldn't be open, And that for me, I wish I spoke to her more.
Yeah.
I wish I let her in more. I wish I laughed with her more. I wish I wasn't in my mind so much that I didn't get to know her. I got to know a lot about her and a lot more of her after she passed away, And because I speak to her every day, without fail. I say my prayers, I speak to her, speak to the ancestors. And I get to know so much more about her. I don't know how. And I'm open now as a person, So I hope she's proud of me.
But do you not think that because Mom was such a strong woman, like she was just always so strong, like
all the time,
she never showed weakness, that we were trying to emulate that then we always had to be strong, and the one person we were supposed to be weak with was her.
Yeah.
And did you feel like we missed out on being weak with her?
Yeah, I think we did. And getting to know her, and I just, sometimes when I'm telling the boys, don't do that.
And then Mom comes out.
Mom comes out so quickly, and I just smile, and they're like, "What are you smiling at? If you're gonna smile while you're shouting, we won't believe you." Okay.
And what one lesson did mom teach you that you definitely want Lonabo and Lonabile to know?
Value yourself. You are a commodity. You are expensive. Each and every smile should that person you smile to is worthy. You know, and this is why for me, right now as a person, I think I've learned that lesson, especially after my divorce, because value yourself and see yourself as someone who is worthy. See yourself who's someone you can stand amongst the biggest giants in the world and still be great. It doesn't matter whether you sweep the streets or you're making tea. Sissy, you are the one that's making the tea. You are great.
Nobody's gonna drink tea unless you make it.
Unless you make it, girl.
She used to say that.
And she used to treat everyone the same.
Yeah.
The laughter would be the same with the guy parking a car as when maybe the president would come over.
To the house.
Would come to the house,
Yeah.
and it would be the same, man.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think I channel a lot of her when I'm on Our Perfect Wedding, because people are so giving when you open yourself up to them. And that's what I learned from mom. And her style.
Oh, well.
Listen.
Well now.
Hey, she used to put together the threads. Mama, hey.
After the break, I chat to my sister Thembisa about the growing pains of adulting, motherhood, the choices she has made, and how these have molded her into the woman she has become. I'm going to get more real with my sister on Real Talk. And welcome back to Real Talk on SABC3, where the stage today belongs to Thembisa Mdoda. My sister is courageous, she's driven, incredibly talented, and she's a fierce lioness of a mother. I learned how to be a mother from her, so, I mean, you know. Listen, when did you know that it was love between you and Atandwa?
Varsity.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it was in varsity.
Because you guys were in first year together.
We were in first year together.
Drama,
yeah, from the beginning, I think, because we were such close friends.
Yes.
And from the beginning, when he'd come over to the house, Mom would be like, "That's the one." Yeah, I know his father. That's the one, you know. And also, he and I we went through all of those teething things in trying to make this career and trying to decide where we belong in this dramatic thing, you know.
And the beauty is, he had never, you know, it was never I am John Kani's son, you know.
No.
Like the dedication I used to see in you guys, like you guys were always late on campus, rehearsing at that little place at the bottom of
Wuzowa School of Arts.
Oh,
yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
whatever that was.
It was called Wuzowa.
Muzoa.
Wuzowa, yeah. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
okay. So, and then when did you know that it just wasn't love anymore?
I think it was probably the final years of
Years.
I think, yeah, because we were there for about 4 or 5 years, and we were changing so much, and neither of us were maybe keeping up with the change.
Yeah, you guys were growing,
Yeah.
but separately.
Separately.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
I picked that up.
Yeah, I don't know whether it was because yes, we love each other. But okay, so who's going to compromise? Who's going to follow? You know, I remember a lot. The first 2 years of varsity, I was Atandwa's girlfriend, and then I grew into an actress, and I even won best actress. I think it was my 3rd year, and I stopped being that person. And so now in my mind there was a change, there was a shift, and I think in all my life that I've known Atandwa, there's always a shift and a change and a gear, but someone is always one step behind or one step in front. You know what I mean?
That's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very true. I think there was never a time when you guys were like literally, you know, like when the cogs just went
Yes.
and then it was fine.
Yeah, maybe in the earlier years.
But do we not make the mistake of mistaking that and thinking it's passion when we're constantly rubbing up against each other?
Yes.
Then it's like, we're passionate about each other.
Yes, we do. And also we are artists, and so we always trying to go for the passionate, emotional side of things instead of logically thinking, maybe you guys need to sit down and talk. Because communication also was never a strong point for us, you know. Maybe just sit down and talk. Maybe that could help, you know. But it would be always that emotion and
Drama.
you know.
And then photos.
And then yes, and then love of my life.
Yeah,
You know? Yeah. But there's never a time where I'd say that I didn't respect Atando as an artist, because that's something that drives him. Yeah, family art drives him. So,
do you guys think you owe each other an apology?
we have actually done it. We've
Oh,
given each
good.
other an apology.
Sorry, I'm still in fight mode. You don't tell me these things. I'm still like in...
Everybody's still in fight mode. That's the thing. No one really asks. But my whole thing is, my life is not for people out there to now know, okay, guys, hello, ni ready, si right. Hello, guys, hello, si alwa. You know, I'm not that kind of person. I don't do that. I mean, and I don't think we've stopped really apologizing to each other.
Okay.
You know, and I think the good thing is growing out of something that has happened between two people, for the two people to grow, for the two people to realize it. It doesn't matter if the rest of the world knows, if the rest of the world is staying and saying, oh, hey, okay, they're good now, okay, they're not okay now. I actually don't care what the rest of the world would think, you know? And I would hope that he doesn't either now.
Okay. And as your sister, I know, but I mean, all families do this. I know. I don't, shut up, okay. I don't really care, like, what happens. All I care is that I'm there to take your side, right?
Yeah.
So I never got to care, like, what happened, why it happened,
Yeah.
I was just like, don't disrespect my sister in public.
Yeah.
If you want to say something to her, say it to her face or
Yeah.
through the families. So, you know, watch yourself. And this is what I'm here for, to, like,
Which
protect
is-
you.
It
But
makes
now,
sense.
what do you know that, like, okay, can you, like, take any ownership of the wrongness that happened between the two of you?
A lot,
Okay.
a lot of wrongness. He knows it, I know it. We've sat down, we've spoken about it. There is a lot, and I think he needed to hear it from me. You know, he needed to hear it from me for all those years, why I was closed up, or why I was blocked, and why when this and this happened one day when I came home, it actually really hurt me. So we've had to go back and do it step by step.
Okay.
Yabo? And I've had to take a lot of responsibility, because I think a lot of what happened is me just not giving him the chance to be the husband, you know? And I was always just like, especially after mom died, look, something's about to happen. Look, something bad's going to happen here, you know? And I never fully trusted in the moments that I had until
then you would
after all it happened.
So then you would always, something's about to happen, so then what you'd always have, like, a safety place that you go to, or like a safety net, or
Yes,
something else that's going to make you
yes,
feel like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
nothing is going to happen.
Even when I wasn't getting booked for jobs, you know, and he was going to work, I would be like, I feel so useless, because we've gone through this journey together, and now we're here, and we have these beautiful kids. And he'd go to work, I'm sure he'd come back, and I'm still wearing the same gown I was wearing in the morning, because I'm like, ugh, guys, hire me. What's going on with me? And once I started the road, I learned so much about what the person I did not want to be, and I really was that person. I was that person that didn't want to be. And when I was on the road, I opened up completely. And then going on to our perfect wedding, I just opened up completely. And now I'm more of a giving person.
I can
and
attest to that.
You know, and the more I give, the more I
Get.
the more I get, right? And the more I just do not care about what people say, or what people do, or what happens outside. That used to be a thing for me. You know, Bazo, China, I want to PTY Limited, you know, that company. But no. Now, I think I can truly say that I'm free. And also with Nina as a family, I was always like, to the point where, why is Thembisa so mean?
Like, I thought you were such a mean person. I'm like,
Yeah,
why does she walk in and not greet? What part of the game is that?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for me, I would be like, but it's my personality. Why don't they get me? Nobody gets me. Kanti, I had to go in deep introspection. And I think everything that happened allowed me to do that.
Okay. Her life mantra is walk to the soundtrack of your own tune. After the break, we find out if she's now dancing to her own soundtrack. And of course, I want to know what those songs are. We'll be back after this. and we're back for the last time today. My guest is not just an actress, a radio presenter, a TV presenter. I mean, TV presenter.
Well,
TV. You're an idiot.
I mean,
all right, so this is happening, right? This is happening.
yeah.
You know, I won for best, talk show. This is all of us. This is Cheeky Media.
Yeah.
This is like the production team, the camera guys, me. It's collective. Yours is a presenter. It's basically saying, hey, you.
We see you.
We see you.
We see you.
You're the boss.
Yeah.
The day you started Our Perfect Wedding, the first episode that flighted, we were flying from East London.
Yes.
And in the newspapers early that morning, the whole paternity scandal debacle had gone out.
Yes.
And obviously, Atando's family had released that. Do you think that was strategy from their side? To release it on the day you are...
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Of course, I think so.
Would you agree with me if I say that it helped you?
Um,
Immediately no, but like everybody went to go watch you.
I think, well, no. Well, let me say this, because I don't think it helped me as such. I think it just proved that whatever it is that they were planning really didn't work.
Okay.
It just proved that the whole thing that they'd been planning, because they had been planning it for a while,
Yeah.
that it didn't work.
Okay.
I think that's what it proved to me, not necessarily that it helped. Yeah.
Okay, I see what you're
Yeah.
saying. But also it just proved, because I remember saying to you, look, in 3 weeks' time,
Yeah.
no one's going to be talking about this. People are going to be talking about the next thing. So what work are you doing with Rosie Mudene?
She's actually not even living in the country at the moment. I think she's in Uganda, working on television. Look, Rosie I worked with her. She brought me in to do Vijana monologues, stage production with the most amazing people. Vanessa Cook was on there, Lebo Mashile was on there on stage, and Kucho Green, amazing actress, she was there. We did it. It was a woman on stage, and we just did Vijana monologues, and it was amazing. And from there, her and I had a sort of relationship. We started speaking a lot, and I admire her on so many levels. And she was there for me the most when I went through everything, actually. Even if I didn't have to call her, she'd call me and be like, let us talk. Just sit on the ground, let us talk. I'll talk you through it. And she was amazing. And so she introduced me to the woman at Power. And Power is something that is very important in this country. I don't think many women use it enough, because when you are down and you don't know what to do, and you've literally just feel like you've just been used as a scrub lap, and where do you go? You go to people opposing women abuse. They will listen to you. They will take you in and do whatever it is that you need to do. And she did that for me. As
So you
someone
found a
who's
lot of your power in that.
Yes, I found a lot of my power in that. And I think also when they sit you down and they say to you, you are going to think that all of this is your fault. You are going to think that all of this that is happening, and of course they're going to make you feel that way, because that's still abuse talking.
Yeah.
But it's not. And you will stand, and you'll remember this day when you're standing, that you are standing now, and you will not fall. You'll continue to stand, and then when you're ready, you're going to take your step, and the next step, and the next step. So I think it's very important to use those things that are available for women in this country.
And in the darkness and everything that you went through, do you, when you are now standing, because girl, you're standing.
I'm standing in my 6-inch heels, girl.
Do you not regret not speaking to Dad earlier?
I do. I really, really do. And because the first thing he said to me was, no, but I lost a sister to this. How do you not come to me and tell me? Yeah. And I really felt it. But I thought, the thing, you have to be strong within your marriage. I actually really thought that I could fix it. And that was also one of my biggest issues, that just you can, turn to your family.
Dad's sister, our aunt, was murdered by her husband. When that happened, I don't think Mom and Dad spoke to us enough about it.
They didn't.
They didn't. It was just she's passed away, we're going to the funeral.
But Dad was very emotional. I don't
He
think
was
he
emotional.
was able to.
Remember when he was crying at the funeral? That's the
Yeah.
first time I saw Dad cry.
Yeah, ever.
And when the priest was talking about how she had passed away, that's the first time I knew what had happened.
Yes.
So then I was like, oh, guys. And then after that, no one spoke to us about it
no
again.
one spoke
So,
about it.
you know, I think it's very important if you're going to be raising girl children. You know, I mean, dad's an amazing father, but also at the end of the day, parents do have that thing where they don't want, they think they're not hurting you. They don't want to hurt you, so they don't talk to you about things.
Or they don't want you to fear whatever it is that you're venturing into. But you need to be able to know so that you can know the signs. Do you know what I mean? Because it could be a verbal thing, but it's the same form of abuse. Do you understand? So you need to be able to pick up when someone is coming at you sideways.
Yes.
You know, so that you like,
hey, man, my ex kicked a bag at me. I was like, I'm out of here. I was like, hey. I called them like,
you know.
Yeah,
so you have to be able to be able to see the signs and to know what it is for what it is, and not be like, no, I need to, you know.
So, Dad is obviously very proud of you.
Captain Awesome.
Captain Awesome is very proud of you. What else can we look forward to that he's going to be proud of in the near future?
Oh my goodness,
You've got 2 minutes, so you better start talking.
Like I said when I said the speech, I'm a phoenix. I'm rising from the ashes because they tried it. I'm doing 2 films this year alone, 1 international one, both leads.
Oh, girl, we're going to America.
Listen, we're going everywhere, and it's weird and it's lovely because for this one they want me to close my gap just for the film. So they're going to put veneers. So it's going to be completely different person, completely different character. And I'm looking forward to it. And then the second one, I don't know if I can talk about it, but there's 2 very brilliant female filmmakers, Salamina Musese and Stefina Zwane. Yes, they are putting together the most amazing film. Female leads.
As an extra.
Baba awuektima. Hlala apha ku3 Talk.
Did you just call my show 3 Talk?
I called it Real Talk.
I'm going to call Auntie Nolene. You're going to have problems. Yes, what else are you doing?
Yes, I'm doing that, and I'm working on that producer side of things now. I think we need to, and we say this all the time, that we need to tell our own stories and tell our own stories. So I'm working with a friend of mine, and I've got my production company up and running, Usake Productions, and we are working on a series, a law series.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Like The Practice?
It's going to be darker, but South African actors.
Okay.
So we're working on something like that, and I'm looking to go back to the stage as well when I get the time.
That's what you like. That's your
That's
passion.
what I love. It's my passion. I'm having the best time of my life at Touch HD. The environment, the music, the people that I work with. Touch is an incredible leader.
Amen.
So I'm enjoying myself immensely. You know, the radio side.
Okay, we're gonna go now. Why are you wearing a ring?
Where?
On the, yeah.
You, Sana, these rings are so beautiful.
Why is there a ring on the wedding
I
finger?
loved them so much that I thought, let me wear these rings to Real Talk with Anele.
Okay. And that's it from us. That's it from the SAFTA winning Mdoda sisters. You know, Beyonce put it perfectly when she said, because we're A-listers. We paid sisters. Thank you to Thembisa Mdoda for keeping it real with me on Real Talk. She is my constant inspiration and support. And she has continuously demonstrated that when life deals you a bad hand, what matters is the way you keep moving and playing. Tomorrow, we're back at 5 p.m. It's a date, right? Good night, folks.